this is Denise with Modern Priscilla Tarot. Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you are all here. If you are new, a big, huge, special welcome to you. All right, friends, we are doing a pick a card, and we are looking for some information and insight about love messages that you need to hear. So how exciting. So let's take a look. Okay, what's going on here? Let me show you. We have an oracle deck here. I'm going to be putting out one oracle card for each pile. And today I have the messenger oracle and a clear quartz to open up the energy. Then here I have 3 decks set out. I have the Modern Spellcasters Tarot, I have the In-Between Tarot, and I have the Everyday Witch Tarot. And each deck has a stone. Here we have clear quartz with the word power. Here we have hematite with the word forever. And here we have green aventurine with the word trust. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I am going to live shuffle, and then I'll be setting out 3 piles. Each pile will contain tarot cards and 1 oracle card. Once I set out the piles, I will be inviting you to select your pile. I will put timestamps in the description. That way you can jump around and bounce ahead as you need to. All right, friends, with that all being said, let's get started. Okay, here we are. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Now what I'm going to ask you to do is calm your mind. Think of the question, what love messages do I need to hear? See where your attention is drawn and select your pile. If you need extra time, please feel free to pause the video. Otherwise, let's get started. Pile number 1. All right, pile 1. Let us see what's going on. What love messages do you need to hear? Okay, we're going to take a look at our oracle card. Trust in magic. Wow. Okay. Well, obviously, you can kind of figure out what that means. Trusting in magic would mean trust in magic. But this is something to think about. The things that you can't see, the unknown. Trust in things happening for your greater good. If you're into the law of attraction, this is definitely a card for you. This is kind of about the manifestation type of card where you're believing in the positive. You're believing in the good fortune. You're believing in the good nature of things coming to you. You have to be expecting good things. Don't be expecting bad things. Trust in magic. Okay, let's put that there. We're going to take a look at our cards here. Okay, so love messages that you need to hear. All right. Well, I do think somebody is coming in for you. Here we've got our Wheel of Fortune, which talks about kind of taking a chance and new things coming in, kind of about good fortune. Here with our page also being here with the world, I do believe somebody is coming in. It is somebody that is going to be potentially a little more quiet, somebody that's a little more reserved, somebody that you're not maybe quite getting that aggressive, they're not aggressively pursuing you type of thing. But, they've got all the qualities that you're looking for. They are just not going to be the one who's that assertive, let me get out there and declare it from the rooftops that I love you or that I want you or, whatever. But what this is saying, because of our oracle card, trusting in magic, you need to look at things a little differently. It could be that this person coming in, again, is sort of reserved or quiet or just maybe more introverted in the beginning type of thing. You need to take a second look at some of these people. You might be waiting for this big, obvious sign or a big obvious display of affection, things like that. That is not what's going to be happening with this person coming in. There is a sense of feeling like this, once you do connect, and I do believe you will connect. Once you do connect, there is an overwhelming feeling of that this is the right person for you, that you've kind of almost gotten a lucky break, like, wow. And this is talking about also taking a chance. So there might be a moment with our hanged man here. You might be looking at things for a moment being like, I don't know, let me kind of reevaluate things right here, right now. Now, it could be because they're awfully quiet or they're not giving you super strong signs or something like that. But what this is saying is trust in the magic, trust in the magic. Because I do think things are going to move quickly. Things will move along. I think you're going to have great communication with this person. When we're talking about love messages, we are not only talking about what's the prediction for what's coming up in love, we're talking about what you need to hear. So this Ace of Swords is here to say what you need to hear is that you need to be direct. You need to be able to speak your truth, especially with this person, because they're seeming to be a little bit more reserved and introverted. You're going to need to be the one that is, telling people how you feel, and maybe, or at least making that first move, or, expressing and showing that you're interested, that kind of a thing, because they might need a little push. They might need that little push. So this is a reminder to you, not only in this particular instance, because this person needs a push, but in all of your future dealings with people in the matters of love, you need to be very truthful and open. This could mean that you've had some issues in the past where you have not been able to be open, or you're afraid to say things because you don't want to turn people away. You don't want to make people run. You don't want to look at their reaction and not have a favorable reaction, things like that. But this is saying, if you are open and you use good communication skills, people, there's a thing called love languages, and I have a video about it, actually. If you look in my playlists, there is a video about love languages. But anyway, love languages, just real briefly, the way we give and receive love. And we're all different. Well, your love language might be, I receive it this way. I'm hearing you're loving me by what you're doing this way. Another person might hear it a different way. So you got to be able to be in tune, with how people receive and understand and interpret love. Do you see what I mean? So just because you would like something a certain way doesn't mean that they would also like it a certain way. Does that make sense? Okay, but look it up. It is a thing, relationship language, love languages. Anyway, so this is talking about love languages. This is talking about being in open communication. I don't know. It sounds like you might not have been as open and communicating as freely as you need to. The Two of Swords tells me that you hold back. You have the tendency to hold things back because you're not wanting to disappoint people. You're not wanting to scare them away. And that is absolutely not going to get you where you want to go, because then you're just going to get into a relationship that eventually will unravel because you haven't been true. You have not been your authentic self, or you have not expressed when things aren't going well, like what you would need instead, and things like that. That's how a relationship grows. You have to learn more about each other. I think that this relationship that's coming in is going to be positive. Again, introverted type of person, but you know, with a little bit of tweaking on how you're approaching things, using that good communication and being open, and in this instance, potentially having to, you know, make that first move, or at least make it known that you're kind of interested. I do think things are going to go well. Here's your advice. Now, we've got the Empress right here. This relationship has the opportunity to bloom, to really grow into something, but it's going to take your active nurturing of this relationship. You're going to, again, using your communication, understanding your partner's love language, and being able to communicate love in the way that your partner will understand and hear it is going to be so important. Now, how can we do this? We don't have like a playbook saying, how do you understand love? You know, we don't have that, obviously. So you're going to all be paying attention to clues. You're going to be using your own better judgment and picking up on things. You're smart, you'll know. But also what we're going to be doing is we're trusting in the magic. We are expecting things to go well. We are envisioning the perfect relationship for ourselves, and we are letting, it's almost like we're putting an ad out to the universe, right? This is my perfect relationship, XYZ. I want ABC, 1, 2, 3. And now you're just letting the universe bring people to you. You're just trusting that the universe is going to bring those people to you. And if you, you know, are open and you're realistic with the way things are going, and you use your power. What's your power? Your communication. You're speaking your truth. There's where your power is. You're not going to be two of swords. You're not going to be afraid to say anything because you're afraid to make people mad or make them leave, or, you know, you're not knowing what their reaction is going to be. You're not going to do that because you're living in your authentic truth. You have power. You trust in the magic of things. You're expecting the best. When this person comes in, it's again an introverted person, but when they come in, if you're going to be using these new tools that you've kind of gotten a little insight out about right now, things look to be going favorably. It looks like you're going to have a favorable encounter with this person. Let's take a look though at our cut card. This might provide us with some more information about the outcome. Okay, ready? Go. 8 of Cups. All right. So I think what's going to be happening is you're going to be leaving a whole bunch of that baggage of yours behind. It's like you have kind of built your relationships a certain way, and this is no longer serving you. This is no longer serving you. So you need to kind of clear the clutter out of your current relationship, you know, shelf. You know, if you had a bookshelf, one of those shelves is for relationships. You need to dust that sucker off. You need to get it ready and open for new chapters of new stories to be in that bookshelf. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to get in touch with yourself. You're going to see, what is it that I truly want? You're going to put that figurative ad out to the universe. You're going to say, this is what I want. This is how I'm going to feel when I have it. And you're going to trust that it is coming. You are going to be using your communication and your truth. You're going to live in your authentic self. You're not going to be afraid to talk to people. You are going to nurture your relationships by listening and seeing how other people communicate and how other people like to receive love, making sure, of course, that it matches with you. You are going to be moving on to a whole nother level of satisfaction in relationships once you do this. Oh my goodness, pile 1. This was a good one. I got a little bit of chills going on. What do you think? Let me know. Please drop a comment. Let me know if this resonated with you. I would love to interact with you. And of course, before you head out, please make sure to go ahead and hit subscribe. I never want you to miss out on a video. All right, my friend, thank you so much for letting me read for you. Pile number 2. All right, pile 2. Let's find out what love messages you need to hear. All right, we're going to take a look at our oracle card first. Make the sacrifice. Ooh, make the sacrifice. Okay. So, that doesn't mean give up what you want or what you need or what you expect, even at some level. But it does say sometimes we need to reevaluate some of those things. We need to make sacrifices. We need to give a little to get a little. Sometimes that means coming together in the middle. So, making a sacrifice sometimes feels like you're giving something up, but you actually are getting something else. So you got to kind of weigh things out, things like that. So yeah, let's see how that pulls in. That's about compromise, though. I'm really getting that strong about compromise. Okay, so what else have we got for you? All right, so love messages that you need to hear. Well, something's coming in. That's what you need to hear first. Something is coming in. It seems to be like there's a lot of talk going on. There is a lot of maybe talk going on that's a little bit confusing. Maybe you've been single for a while and you're kind of feeling like, what am I doing wrong? Or I don't want to repeat things. I don't want to do that. Uh, but what this card is saying is don't give in to that. You're sabotaging yourself. Now, wait a second here. Go with me here. I'm not saying don't learn from your mistakes, because obviously if you don't learn from them, you're doomed to repeat them. So I am not at all saying that. But what I'm saying is, people talking in your ear, giving you advice, especially unsolicited advice, if that's the case, is not necessarily helping you. It creates an emotional kind of turmoil that you're afraid to make a decision, things like that. So this is saying kind of beware if you're getting, a lot of emotional kind of pressure or advice from people, or even from yourself. If you are really putting pressure on yourself about things, even in the sense of just wanting something so badly, that's a lot of emotional pressure. So you need to go easy on yourself. Go easy on yourself, because guess what? The next phase of your life is coming. Our moon talks about the phases of the moon and how it rotates and it turns around every month. You're not afraid there's not going to be a full moon, are you? No, because there's going to be. Well, the same is true about the next phase of your life. It is coming. It is coming. It also talks about things not always being as smooth as you might like, but giving into that, relax into that, and let things play out. And we're, especially with that emotional component, we definitely need to let things play out. And if we let that emotional pressure get in, we are putting, stopping points, speed bumps in our development, because then we're trapped in thinking about what other people want or what other people think you should do. Do you see what I mean? Don't second guess yourself. All right. Here, we've got kind of like a rebirth feeling. This talks about starting again in a new setting. Remember what I said, a new chapter beginning. And this is about starting again in that feeling of rebirth, feeling like, And you know why you feel like, Because you're not going to allow emotional pressure from yourself or from others to get in the way of your decision making, to knock your self-esteem down. This is very, very strong advice. And then here we go with people coming in. We've got the Fool card here, which is our granddaddy of new beginnings, new journeys. This is talking about anything being possible, and that, go ahead and take a leap. Take a leap. Make the sacrifice. Be trusting in what you're doing. I really get that you're second guessing yourself. It's coming through several times here. I'm really getting that. All right. So someone's coming in. So this is kind of about, what to expect to come. But what else do we need to know about love? Well, we need to know that when people first come in, it is very exciting at first, and we get really, into it. That's the fun part about starting a relationship. So that's normal, and you should have some fun. But what our page is here to talk about is you should always be thinking about, instead of just closing your eyes and falling backwards into the pit of balls, like when you're a little kid and you're standing there at the little pizza place or whatever, and you fall backwards into the little pit of balls, and then you get out and you do it again, you do it again. Well, this talks about when you fall back into that pit of balls, have some fun, of course, enjoy it, but think about what your plan is. What are you going to do? Well, when I fall back in there, I'm going to stand, I got to twist around, I got to stand up on my feet, I got to walk to the side, I got to get back out, and then I got to decide if I want to do it again, right? Now, that's a silly analogy, of course, but that's exactly what the Page of Swords is saying about love. You need to have fun, allow yourself to have fun, but you need to be thinking about what's happening next. You have to be very firm on your communication. You need to be adaptable, because you got to obviously take what other people want into consideration and make that compromise in the middle. Ooh, compromise, make the sacrifice. Oh my, wow. So, you know, this is important. I do think something is coming in for you right now, but I think this is also important love advice just for you as far as going forward. So whether it's developing this relationship that's coming in or just in the future relationships, we've got two cards here with our Queen of Coins, which is Pentacles, and of course the Page, which I already was talking about. We've got two court cards here, and they're both talking about that tendency to just not really be firm on the follow through or the step two or the next phase. You know, we've got a lot of things happening. I think that this relationship is going to be exciting when it starts, but I think it's also going to be moving pretty quickly. And again, without a plan. And now I'm not saying you have to write it down in a playbook, like, all right, day 2, we're going to do this and this and that. No, of course not. And first of all, that's ridiculous. Second of all, that would take all the fun out of it, wouldn't it? It's fun to fall in that pit of balls when you're a little kid, right? Not knowing, fall backwards. I'm going to use that analogy all day now. Anyway, that's great. That's wonderful. But you've got to have your feet on the ground at least to touch base, because again, I think things are going to be moving very quickly. We have our Chariot here. The Chariot is all about exciting change, action, really moving forward. You know, things happening. Now, something else that the Chariot is also about, though, is about pulling in different energies and moving forward together. In the traditional imagery, this card is often a dude on a chariot, and he's got 2 horses pulling him forward, and one of the horses is black and one of them is white. Think of the yin and yang, the black, white, different energies coming together. And the idea is that the chariot pulls you forward. Well, you have to have both horses up and running at the same speed. Otherwise, it's going to pull you and you're not going to go anywhere, right? So it's about harnessing energy, 2 opposing energies, and moving forward. Well, sometimes to do that, what do you have to do? You have to make a sacrifice. This means you have to compromise. Sometimes we have to give up what we have to give up. It's a sacrifice because we have to, you know, work with somebody else. And sometimes they make the sacrifice. That's how compromise works, right? Now, with your newfound, you know, confidence and your newfound excitement, this is awesome. It's just over here, we don't want to get tripped up by our self-doubts, by any kind of emotional pressure. Our Queen of Coins, she's also a really good queen for getting things started. Like I said, when you get involved and jump into that pit of balls, you're not going to, you know, want to stay there. You need to get back out so that you can do it again, so that you can have some fun. Well, if you get lost in the excitement, you're not going to be able to compromise and move forward. We've got the Forever Stone here. We want to make something last. We want to be with somebody forever. We're looking for that partner, right? So this is huge advice for how you handle your love life going forward. And this is also a little bit of insight as to what might be coming. So let's get another one. We need to see the outcome card. This is the cut card. So this is the middle of the deck, and this is the energy of the outcome. Let's get some more insight. Ready? Go. The wheel, again, we have some rebirth, things coming and going. All right, so we're looking for forever, right? We're looking for forever. I'm thinking that this person who's coming in might not be the forever. You might be going through a series now of a phase, of dating. And the reason is because you need to practice your newfound skills, that excitement, that thriving off of that exciting newness of it. If it doesn't end well because of the fact that you didn't plan and build a relationship, you were just living on that excitement, well, now you got to do things differently, right? You got to be enjoying the excitement, but you have to be thinking about how to move forward. You have to make those sacrifices. The Wheel of Fortune talks all about things kind of spinning around, and things go in phases, like the wheel, right? It turns, it always is moving, and we're repeating cycles sometimes. But this card talks about things working out in your favor, but we've got to cycle through. We need some practice. So this is talking about spend some time dating right now. I do see somebody kind of probably coming in right now. We're looking for forever, but right now I'm seeing that you need some more practice, perhaps dating, and maybe even in compromise, and moving forward, together, as opposed to being the dominant one, maybe, or only worried about what you want, or assuming you know what they want without talking about it, and therefore never compromising. Do you see what I mean? The key word here is going to be compromise in your love life. That is going to be super important. And, keep your eyes open. Somebody coming in, don't make it a self-fulfilling prophecy where you're like, oh, the card said you're not going to be any good, so I'm going to date you and shove you off. No, pay attention, because those people that you're going to be dating, whether it's one or 51, one of those is going to potentially be the one that you're wanting to explore more with. So don't be ready to dismiss people too quickly, but at the same time, keep your eyes wide open, enjoy the fun, but keep your feet on the ground and be building a relationship, not just out having fun. Does that make sense? Ooh, pile 2, solid. This was solid. All right, my friend, please drop me a comment. I would love to know what you think of this reading and how it helped you, perhaps. I would love to hear from you and interact. So please leave a comment. And also, before you head out, please make sure you hit subscribe. I never want you to miss out on a video, and I'd love to have you in the family. All right, my friend, thank you so much for letting me read for you. Pile number 3. All right, pile 3. Let us find out what love messages that you need to hear. All right, let's take a look at our oracle card. Embrace the masculine. Okay. Embrace the masculine. Now, I'm not sure if you are a male or a female when you're watching this video. And this reading, is universal. Embrace the masculine would mean, obviously, embracing your assertive side. Assertive is different than aggressive. Obviously, aggressive would not result in as positive reactions, right? But this is talking about being assertive and speaking your truth, and being firm, and again, assertive is different than aggressive, right? We're not talking about going in and but this is talking about asserting your dominance in the not dominance, that's not the right word. Asserting your place as an equal in the relationship, meaning somebody else's desires, needs are not ahead of yours. That's what I meant. So it's not necessarily that one has to be dominant or not. It would mean that you're equal, and what you need is just as important. Woo! Okay, that's important. Oh, right. So that was good. Let's see what else we've got. Ooh, somebody's coming in, my dear. Somebody's coming in. Okay. All right. So love messages. Love messages. All right. Wow. We've got some A lot of court cards here. All right. Well, I do think somebody's coming in. I'm seeing that right off the bat. We have the Knight of Cups right here. If you watch my videos, you know what I call the Knight of Cups. I call the Knight of Cups the ooh la la card. And the reason I call it the ooh la la is because this is the card that shows up when somebody is coming in to sweep you off your feet. This is somebody very romantic, someone very charming. Yeah, so somebody is very much coming in. And remember, what you need is you need to be assertive. When you get wrapped up into, the excitement of the newness, especially when someone's coming in super charming and really kind of wooing you, it's easy to lose sight of things, right? It's easy to lose sight of what's happening next. Now, well, let me get back to this. Here, down here, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So we have two knights here. Knights are about movement. Knights are about action. The Knight of Cups, we talked about that, swooping in to sweep you off your feet. But here, look at this knight. This knight, while he is moving, he's got his feet on the ground. He is wanting to make sure that the plan is there, that we move forward knowing what we're doing, whereas this knight is just like all love and bubbles and hearts flying out, right? This is a nice combo. We need this combo because you can't just be all romance and you can't just be all planning, right? You got to have a combo. So this is a great combo. So this person coming in seems to be very well-rounded. So you do have somebody on their way. We've also got the Five of Cups here. And this is kind of like the crying over spilled milk card. It's like seeing something and saying, oh, I don't like that, but not seeing that there are other things that you do like. So what this is saying here is that, while this person seems very well-rounded and things like that, you might not know this at the very beginning, at the outset. You have to get to know people, and you got to see where they're coming from and where they're going and things like that. And I think at first you're not seeing the full picture. So there's something perhaps that you might feel is missing. And that makes you feel sad. Like, oh, you're so great in this area, but you don't do X, Y, Z or, whatever. This card is here to say, trust that things are going to work out. You need to always be assertive and be talking about what you need. People aren't mind readers. They don't know what you need sometimes. I mean, we can pick up on clues and we get to know people and we can deduce what would be the best thing. But, you can't expect people to read your mind. So you need to be able to talk about it because there's something you're feeling is missing that I have a feeling is not really missing. That's why you should trust that it is there. And you just need to communicate and express that to make sure that it shows up, right? We've got two queens over here. We've got our Queen of Pentacles and we have our Queen of Swords. Well, queens are always nurturing. They're always, looking to take care of people, things like that. Our Queen of Swords, she pulls the emotions out of things. She's very rigid. But our Queen of Pentacles, she is somebody who is very similar in the sense that she is a micromanager. She wants to plan it out. She wants to win. What I'm seeing here, honey, is you need to kind of loosen up a little bit. You need to loosen up. When we're talking about being assertive, remember what I said. That is not aggressive. Being assertive is important. But when we let it flip too far to the other side, we turn out to be a jerk, right? We don't want to be a jerk because we don't want to push this person away. We don't want to sabotage our own relationships. This is not to say you should not have boundaries or have expectations or have standards that you adhere to. That is absolutely something that this is not saying don't pay attention to that. It is saying that's very, very important. But don't be so rigid. It says be open. Remember what I said here. So focus on what you're not getting instead of what you are, and embracing the masculine means, what? I don't need to be so rigid and aggressive. I can embrace the masculine and be assertive. I still get my message across, but I'm being open and communicating and nurturing. These are queens. We need to be more like our queens and be nurturing, and we need to be caring about people and compassionate, not just looking for, let me get in here and be aggressive and tell you what I want and what I need. This is saying here that if you kind of get that in check, Get that in check. Trust, look for the best. Trust that, you might be expecting things to go bad. You're kind of the bossy boss in that sense, or even at least in your mind, even if you're not expressing it to these people or this person, at least in your mind, you're wanting it to be a certain way. Standards are good, yes, but you are only thinking about that. And when you're not seeing it immediately, you're thinking it's not there, and I got to fix you, I got to change you, I got to leave, whatever, or I'm unhappy in some way. You need to trust that things are moving along and that they are okay. You can't just look for what's not going well. You have to be looking for what is, even when other things aren't perfect. Does that make sense? All right. So then we have our star card. The star card is a card of recognition. It is a card of hope and optimism and, kind of seeing the way. It's about being realistic and keeping your feet on the ground. Well, that's exactly what we were just talking about. We have to be realistic. We have to trust that things are going to work out in our favor. Again, not being aggressive, but we have to be firm on what we want, even if that's just firm in our own mind. I have a feeling that you probably go back and forth in your own mind quite a bit, and you're feeling a bit of the need to control things when sometimes we do need to control things, yes, but sometimes we just need to trust that it's all going to work out. We need to let it unfold. We need to let it play out and react, based on what kind of evidence we're getting as it plays out. We can't go into it assuming the worst, right? We need to be assertive in our communication. We need to be assertive with what we need, but we need not be aggressive or black or white, meaning like it's either great or it's terrible. We can't be there. We need to come into the middle sometimes. Sometimes it is great. Sometimes it does feel terrible, but we have to trust that happiness is there. And if we're looking for it to be bad, we'll find more things to make it confirm it to us that it is bad. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, law of attraction pulls in so strong on that one. Okay, so let's take a look. We want to get some more. So what we're going to do, I'm going to pull the cut card. This is the energy of the outcome. So we're going to get a little more information or get a sum up. Ready? Boom. Oh, yes, this is all right there. This is all right there ready for you. Now, this are love messages. Again, I think a prediction as well. I think that somebody is coming in pretty strong, pretty romantic, but they're very well-rounded. I think they also know how to plan. So they seem to be very well-rounded coming in. So that's a prediction. But the messages, this over here was a lot more advice for you and telling you how to go forward and develop a happy, healthy love, right? Well, now we've got this as our end game card. The King of Wands. This is a wonderful card. This talks about this person coming in. First of all, it refers to that person as being somebody who is going to be the package. It is going to be what you want. Don't sabotage it by being, jerky. That's and I mean that with love, please, no. But anyway, that this person is coming in terms of a situation. This says that you're going to be able to get all this in line. This is not doomsday. This is not something that you can't fix. This is a tweak. This is a little tweak that you might want to do in your love relationships with people. Now, this person, it does look like is coming through pretty solid. So I do think that you will be engaged in a relationship with this person. Again, we don't want to sabotage things. And, we need, this person seems like a good person, and we need not be just seeking out what's not good and ignoring what is good, or only focusing on what's not right when we're hoping for something else. Do you see what I'm saying? Because this person seems to be, for lack of a better term, the whole package. They do seem to have it all. And this is about getting your expectations and your communication. Again, flip it from aggressive to assertive. There's a difference. Embrace the masculine. Trust and expect the best. Ooh, pile 3. What do you think? I would love to hear from you. Please drop a comment and let me know. What do you think of this reading? I would love to interact with you. And of course, before you head out, please make sure to go ahead and hit subscribe. I would love it for you to be in the family. All right, my friend. Thank you so much for letting me read for you.